Okay. Yeah. No, we're cheating. All right, so we're going to get started. And Mr. Elmore is going to run the meeting today. Mr. Dumars is running a little late, but we do have a quorum. Just press the...
Okay, there we go. We're on now. Okay, good enough. All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Do a roll call.
Yeah, so I can give you a summary of everybody who is on virtually. We have Miss Sherry Brown, we have Mr. Patrick Franklin, we have Miss Sandra Greenberg, we have Mr. Stanley Siegel, and we have our principal representative, Patricia Ordonez.
Okay, all right. Thank you all. Any public comment?
No public comment.
No public comment. All right. We have
and Miss Whitfield. I apologize. Miss Whitfield is joined as well.
Oh. Welcome, board member.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I just wanted to let you guys know that during the board meeting this past week, Karen and I decided that we would take turns so I could experience hanging out with you guys and being a part of this committee occasionally as well. I didn't have childcare this morning, but I hope to be with you in person from now on. So thank you so much for allowing me to participate, and thank you to Ms. Brill for sharing this committee with me and the one after this. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, there she is. Uh-oh. There's a little girl. There's a little girl or boy? Little girl. Okay.
Girl.
You're getting her trained early.
I know she spends a lot of time on Zoom calls, unfortunately. I don't know if that makes me a good parent, but at least she's here with me. So.
Okay, good. All right. All right, we have the minutes of September. Yeah, the minutes from September 3rd. Need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve, George.
All right, thank you. All right. All in favor, signify aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All right. Okay, new business. Okay, new business. Ready?
Okay, yeah, so we have our first quarterly report for the IROC. What is different with this report from previous years is that this is the first report to include our allocation to charter schools. And so I'm going to go through in a little bit more detail than I have previously, just to explain the differences. And because not only did we have the addition of charter schools, we also had a carryover balance from the prior year. So the amount of referendum funds we're expected to levy is $225 million. And then if you recall from our last meeting, we didn't spend $4.6 million from our prior year referendum. So we need to add in that $4.6 million. So there's a total allocation of $230 million that we need to allocate that's available for the referendum this year. A portion of that, $25.5 million, we're passing through to charter schools, and that leaves $204.6 million for district operated schools. So looking at our district operated schools, we have not collected any of that revenue. You know that tax bills just recently went out. I know that I recently paid mine, and so we'll start getting that money in November, December timeframe, at least the bulk of it. Looking at the total amount expected to be received is $204 million for district operated schools, and we're expected to spend all of that and then some. So we're expected to spend $213 million of the 204. It's pretty consistent with how it's been spent in the past. Over 12,000 teacher supplements for a total of almost $120 million, 21 million to date. Over 750 or 761 fine arts teachers. The total spent to date is 9.8 million for a total expected of 57 million. And that's based on actual filled positions, not budgeted positions. So actual filled, and these are actual payments that have been made. Under the next category is mental health. To date, 3.9 million, projected to spend 16 million. And for security, 2.4 million to date, expected to be 19 million. And so with the new category and so far we've passed through $6.4 million to charter schools just through this September 30th. And for the charter school allocation, the amount that they're projected to use forecasted throughout the remainder of the year, their allocation is 25.5 million. $9.5 million of that is related to teacher supplements. Some of the charter schools are allocating in the same manner that we're allocating our supplements. Most of them are using a different methodology. Each one is different. Fine arts, 8.3 million is being spent on fine arts, and 2.4 million on mental health, and 3.5 million in security. So the charter schools, and there's one charter school, Bright Futures, that has not provided us a plan. We've been working very closely with them. They recently lost their principal, and so we're expecting to hopefully have a plan prior to the holiday break. If we don't receive a plan, we will start to take back that money that we have passed through to them. But based on the plans provided by the charter schools, there's a remaining portion. They have not utilized all the funds that have been allocated. So there's a remaining balance of 1.2 million, and that's over multiple schools. So this first page is just a summary. And then just like with our district operated schools, we have a detail within the report, after the district section, that's for each of the charter schools. So the report more than doubled in size. It's now 75 pages long, with the bulk of it being, over 50 of the pages are related to charter schools. I was just trying to get down to the charter school section. I'm almost there, bear with me.
Okay.
So here's
There you go.
the charter school summary in detail. And it starts with a summary, a more detailed breakout of the different categories. And then there's a detail for each charter school that follows that summary. So are there any questions?
No?
Yes, I have a question. You mentioned the budget that you had security at 2 million and it's gone to 19 million, almost 10 times. What's the big reason for that?
For there is a delay initially with the police officers, and when we're assigning them out, getting that information to start billing them to our internal service fund. And we have had some, have had some challenges in hiring our police officers. I want you to keep in mind that the referendum is only for officers over and above the number of officers we need to comply with Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. So our general fund funds the first officer at every school, and the referendum is every officer over and above that. And so it's more just a delay in just getting all of the officers set at the beginning of the year, because we want to make sure that we have them in the right school before we start charging them out. And there's just a lot of movement at the beginning of the year. So I do expect that is going to increase gradually throughout the year.
Thank you.
Then there was another question, Ms. Antuna?
Yes, I believe that you mentioned there was 1.2 million in the charter school that had not been spent.
Right.
Is that anticipated that they will spend that, or?
Based on the plans they provided, they were not able to come up with enough eligible expenses to utilize the funds. So if they are not able to do so by the end of the year, just like us, they're going to have to carry it forward to the next year and make sure to utilize it on allowable items for that are authorized under the referendum language.
Okay, so they're allowed to carry it over.
Yeah, just like we're allowed to carry it over, they can too. So we have it tracked by each charter school, and you can actually see it when you go through the detailed reports, which ones were just not able to come up with enough expenses in order to spend all the funds.
Heather, I had a question also. The 25 million is just for this fiscal year.
It is just for this fiscal year.
Is there going to be for the past? What did the lawsuit say?
That lawsuit, Mr. Burke actually just testified this week on that case. So that is still pending as to whether we will have to go retroactive.
Okay.
So right now it's just the current year and FY23.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank
And
you.
I don't know if Mr. Littlejohn has anything he'd like to add from a legal perspective, but it was very recent. Mr. Burke testified, I think it was on Tuesday that he had to testify.
Right. Yeah, the hearing was earlier this week, and we're awaiting a ruling from the judge at this point. And whoever loses will undoubtedly appeal.
Okay. Is it just one judge hearing it? It'd be his ruling?
It is correct. It's at the circuit court. Judge Kelly is the presiding judge.
Okay.
So he'll issue a ruling, and then the loser is able to appeal that to the 4th District Court of Appeal.
To the appeal. Okay. All right. Okay. You got a ways to go yet then.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. Okay. All right. We need a motion to approve.
Yeah.
Okay. We need a motion to approve the allocations.
I make a motion, Sandra Greenberg.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I second it.
All right.
Stanley Siegel, I second it.
Okay. Thank you. All right. All in favor, signify aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any nays? I don't think so. Okay. Thank you, Heather.
Right.
Next item is the presentation to the board on the
On the-
15th
on the-
of December.
Right, so I provided a draft report to the board as part of the policy.
Do they have it?
They should. It's one of the agenda items, and you can also see it being presented as well. One of the policy requirements of the IROC is to present to the board annually. So I've prepared a draft report for the committee to review. And then we can either have a member present it at the board meeting, or we can, like we've done the past 2 years, we can just present a written report.
Paul hasn't joined us yet, has he? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. You want to take a minute to read it? So any questions?
Ms. Whitfield, you have a question?
Thank you. I just wanted to make a comment. We've had some struggles lately with people in the community not necessarily believing that we are using our referendums for the appropriate uses that we had promised the community. And as many of you know, we're going to be going up for a referendum again this year. So if you're interested or willing at all, I think having an actual person come and speak to the community, since we do have this independent review oversight committee, that would tell everybody, that you believe that we're using the funds appropriately, I would be very valuable to us as a board. Mostly we just want people to believe that we are doing the right things with it and it's being spent appropriately.
Can the chairperson of the committee attend the meeting, the board meeting, and give the report? The other chairpersons of the committees are there to give their report.
Yes, we have other committees that do come and give them in person, and we would make sure you're at the front of the meeting.
And so once the committee accepts the report, then I can reach out to see whether Mr. Dumars would be available on the 15th.
Right. And Heather, can you send a copy of the report, a summary of the report to the press, so that it is on the news? It is either in the newspaper or online. So I think that would cover it. The community will know we're spending the money appropriately.
Right. It can also be attached to the presentation agenda item and also the press is there at the board meetings and have access to the online meetings as well.
Would you check with Paul and see if he's going to be available?
Right. Yep. I can check with
him, and if not, I'll try to back up.
Okay.
Back up
All
if
right,
you need it. All right.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Elmore.
Anybody has any questions about it, please let us know.
No, looks okay.
I think so. Okay.
All right. And then now we're just to the next meeting is March 4th. And then the meeting following that is not until August 26th.
Summer vacation.
Okay, I was like, wait, there's a big break in between. All right, so there will be another one that we have to add on there.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
So there will be one in April that I missed, but that's a big break in between. But March 4th, and then one in April, and then August 26th.
Okay.
But I'll be able to update that at the March 4th meeting.
All right. They covered it?
Yep, that's everything.
Okay. All right. Any questions? Any additional information? Not hearing any, I guess we will have a motion to adjourn. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all for joining. I really appreciate it. And as Ms. Whitfield said, it's very important for the community to see that we have a very transparent process in how we spend these funds. So thanks.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. See you in a minute.